To be successful, the first thing to do is fall in love with your work. And I know of an artist who is head over heels in love with her craft. Welcome to Baatein Ankahee with the very talented Tina Datta. Tina, welcome to Pinkvilla.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
So we've been trying to do this for very long. I've been coordinating with your team and finally it's happening. I'm very happy. So thank you for giving us the time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Before we start the conversation, which we'll go down the memory lane, we'll talk about your early years, how it all started, and I've read up a little. I think it's very, very interesting. But before that, there's a small surprise for you.
Okay.
So there's someone who's very, very close to you, and I sent a very, very amazing message for you. Can I play it?
Yes.
Let's go for it.
Should I be scared?
I think you'll love it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
Hello, my Tinsy in Tinseltown. Now
That's
there are only
Ashu.
two people who would call you Tinseltown. So I think you know who it is.
Yes.
Tina, I'd like to tell all your fans and everybody listening to this show what a wonderful person you are. You have a heart of gold. You are giving and caring. And I'm so lucky, so blessed to get to call you my friend, my sister. Thank you for all that you do for us. Thank you for all the love that you give us. Thank you for the way you care for us. I will have a little secret to share with everybody. Tina likes to keep everything super clean. So जब भी वो मेरे घर आती, सबसे पहले देखती कि क्या ठीक से नहीं रखा है, सबसे पहले उसे जाके ठीक करती. I think बहुत लोगों को शायद ये पता नहीं होगा टीना के बारे में, but she loves to keep everything very proper. Proper होना चाहिए. और जितना proper वो सारी चीज़ों को रखती है, उतना ही proper वो अपने रिश्तों को रखती है. So, again, thank you for all that you do. We love you very dearly. Brent and I are always happy, elated to see your face, to see your smile, and to know that you are a part of our lives. We love you.
I love
Bye-bye.
you too, Ashu. I love you, Brenta Jeju. Oh my God, this is so precious.
I can
Thank
see your eyes well up.
Yeah. You know, I'm not saying this because I just heard the voice note, but she's one of the most genuine person I've ever met. You know, I can very few actors in this industry are somewhere who's not jealous of your success, you know. मतलब वो काम करे नहीं भी करे. Right now she's in a very big position, touch wood, God's grace. She's doing fab for herself. She's launched Rene and everything. But it's not like she's got a lot of air in herself. Never. She was never like that. When she was working also, full-fledged, she was an actor. She would always wish the best for all of her girlfriends. And, you know, she's such a positive soul. There are times when I just wake up, you know, I was put up in Goa during lockdown days, and I would just wake up and I wouldn't be my bestest self, and I would just look ugly, and I'm like, baby, I'm not looking nice, I'm looking so ugly, I'm not going to go to that place. She's like, baby, you're beautiful. You know, very few people will boost your moral like that, and one of them is Ashu. She's such a positive soul, she's such a darling. Matlab, I've never met someone like her ever in my life, ever. Yeah. We have had our ups and downs and, you know, ifs and buts and everything. But like I always say, I always wanted an elder sister, and she's the sister I never had. So I'm so blessed to have her in my life, touch wood.
Touch wood. And you know, the most beautiful line in the audio note is where she says, जितना ख्याल वो चीज़ों का रखती है, उतना ही ख्याल वो अपने रिश्तों का भी रखती है. Tell me about, you know, are you an emotional person?
Very.
Innately?
Very. I'm a very emotional person, because of which a lot of times people take me for a ride as well, and take my emotions, my feelings for granted. So it has happened a couple of times, many a times actually. But yeah, I'm an extremely emotional person. If I get attached to you, I get very attached to you. So to withdraw from you and to say no, or if a person has to leave me or part ways or something, it gets very difficult for me. So,
how do you protect yourself then?
It's very difficult. It's very difficult. I don't think so. I do well with heartbreaks, especially, and
like
yeah,
most of
it's yeah, it's very difficult for me. you know, नहीं हो पाता है, मतलब I would cry a lot. And so one thing that Ashu also has taught me कि देखो रोना है ना, बाथरूम में जाके रो, अकेले में बैठ के रो. Don't cry in front of everyone, don't cry in front of the world. Cry to your people, you know, whom you can trust, whom you can confide in. So yeah.
Why did she say that?
Because when you cry in front of people ना, a lot of times people do take you for granted. A lot of times. तो लोग ना आपके emotions के मजाक उड़ाते हैं, आपके आंसू के मजाक उड़ाते हैं. लोग बोलते हैं अच्छा ये तो ऐसे ही एक्टिंग कर रहे हैं, छोड़ ना यार. So अपना मजाक क्यों बनाने का? So
they
it's
also
always
think
like
you're
that.
weak sometimes.
Yeah, true that. They I don't know, people have their own perspective. So it's better to keep your emotions to yourself, you know. So when I was in Goa, I had an emotional breakdown. Like not a lot of people knows about this. So I had a very bad emotional breakdown, and so many emotions were piled on. And I was just on the yoga mat, and I started doing yoga because of her. मतलब all the healthy lifestyle जो मेरे अंदर है, it's all thanks to Ashu only. So I was on the yoga mat. Brenta was having the class and everything. So he's a yoga teacher.
Yes.
And I just had an emotional breakdown, and the entire day I would cry, and I wouldn't know why I was crying. And I was trying to look out for answers, but then Brenta is like, don't always try and look out for answers, you know, just vent it out, you'll feel good. And he would just explain you things and calm you down and all of that. So amazing couple.
They are for sure.
Yeah.
But why the emotional breakdown, Tina?
So I feel, you know, all of us has a lot of pile on in our day-to-day life, you know. Sometimes you want to express it, sometimes you just suppress it, and sometimes you just let it go. You know, be it losing your family members, be it losing your dog, or be it losing anybody, or you know, maybe you had a tiff with your best friend, or maybe your brother or your family members, or whatever. छोटी छोटी चीज़ें जो pile on होते जाता है ना, हम कभी कभी realize नहीं करते हैं, हम उसको vent out नहीं करते, अपने emotions को बाहर निकालने नहीं देते, because हम अपनी ज़िंदगी में इतने busy होते हैं ना. So we think that okay fine, you lose someone and then you keep yourself so busy in your life that you are like, you want to let go of that emotion, you probably don't want to face it. So you know, when you meditate, like I go to Isha Yoga Ashram and all of that. So when you Sadguru के आश्रम में, तो जब आप meditate करेंगे ना, तो आपका पूरा ना cleanse हो जाता है body. So those emotions, either you can have a laughter attack also. It's not necessarily you will have an emotional outbreak every time. You can have a laughter attack, you can be sad, you can be upset, you can be angry, but that just flushes out from your system, which is much needed. Yeah.
Also COVID, I think time was also so sensitive when we were all going through our own battles.
True that.
So I think when you see so much happening around you, you also kind of get a little emotional. You're right. But is it also the baggage that the field brings along, Tina? There's so much of fame, and the fame is very fragile. There's so much of work, and the work is also very fragile.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's a pylon of everything. Of course, there's a lot of baggage. Of course, it comes with a lot of other things as well. So responsibilities, insecurities होते, responsibilities बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ जाते हैं. So when you're famous and your show is a super hit, and then you have to be very very mindful to take up any project. You know, आपको ऐसा लगता है कि नहीं, ये production house के साथ काम करूँ, ये character करूँ, तो शायद, you know, either it can make you or break you वाला zone है. So you have to be very very mindful, you have to be very very particular. Then you know, when you let go of projects, people would tell you that okay fine, media, whatever, others will say ki acha she's not getting work or he's not getting work, and that's why she's saying all these things. So it's a lot of pressure, you know. So but with me, honestly speaking, Avinash, I've always been like, so touch wood, I have sorted my life, you know, like when it comes to my balances, my house, my car and everything. So बेसिक मैंने सॉर्ट आउट करके रखा है. सो इट्स नॉट लाइक कि मेरे को प्रेशर में आके आई हैव टू रन माई किचन, सो इसके लिए मुझे काम करना ही है. सो आई नेवर गो इन टू दैट सिचुएशन. सो मैं हमेशा आई एम सेटिस्फाइड विद द लिटिल थिंग्स. इट्स नॉट लाइक आई हैव टू ड्राइव अ मर्क और अ BMW टू शो ऑफ पीपल, कि जो आजकल के ज़माने में चलता है, यू नो, पीपल वुड रेंट आउट इन अ हाउस. आई एम नॉट अगेंस्ट इट, मतलब ईच टू इट्स ओन वाला जोन. बट माई पर्टिकुलर थिंग इज़ लाइक, I would rather save that money and not invest in a depreciating asset just to show off to the entire world, you know. So I'm like that.
Yeah, sure. No, it completely makes sense of what you're saying there. But okay, let's talk about Deboshmita to Tina's journey. You know, I spoke to you. Somehow people online have written Tanisha. And it's a wrong name. Like you corrected me, it's
Deboshmita. Yes.
So tell me about this journey from being Deboshmita to being Tina Datta.
So in Bengalis na, हम लोग के दो नाम होते हैं. One is a nickname and one is a school name. So my brother's name is Debraj. I'm Deboshmita. So ऐसे प्यारे प्यारे नाम होते थे. But Deboshmita to spell and to pronounce the name also half of the people would goof up. So I started working when I was just 4.5 years, you know. So that was a pretty young age, and to write checks mein bhi likhna, so people would always spell it wrong, pronounce it wrong, Debsmita, Debush, and all of that. So, you know, it would just screw up my entire name. So then Papa is like, theek hai, Tina karke, you know, people started calling me as Tina. And then Dad was like, okay, that's a shorter name, it's easy to spell also. Though sometimes even Tina also people spell it wrong, it's T-E-E-N-A, I hate it. I'm like, please don't spell it wrong for me. But yeah, that's how Tina happened, and then it's like Tina Datta.
Yeah, so did you change it after you came into the business or much before that?
No, after I came into the business, when I was in Calcutta, when I was working in Calcutta, that's when I had to change it. When I was like, what? I started my career when I was 4.5, so when I was
Sister
7.
Nivedita was the first show, right?
Yeah, oh my God, you remember? Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you know, you started out way early. You started as a child artist when you were 4.5 years, but I also saw an interview where you wanted to become an air hostess. Then was it like that you continued acting because you fell in love with it, or because you had people around you who said, you know, you're doing it well? What was it like?
So my mom and dad were always passionate. More than my dad, my mom was very, very passionate. So she wanted to do theatres and all of that, but she got married at a very early age, and then she was a housewife, then she had kids, me and my brother. So she couldn't really fulfill her dreams, you know. And then when this offer came out of nowhere, so she was like, why don't we just give it a chance? And chance say it just kept on happening, and I never had to give auditions. I never had a portfolio done until I came to Bombay, you know. After starting Uttaran, that's when I did my first portfolio. So it just happened by chance. And then when I did this show called Khala, it was a grey character which I really enjoyed playing, and I was very young. I was in my 7th standard. So yeah, and initially it was Ravi Ojha, so I can call him my godfather, mentor or whatever, who really taught me how to feel a character, how to portray a character, how to just be in that character, you know, because to portray a grey character was very difficult for me. And I still remember those days, मैं उनके office में जाती थी, and to, you know, practice for workshops and all of that. और उनका cabin वहाँ पे होता था, and I would be like, oh my God, I'm so scared to even enter, because he had that personality, that aura, you know. And बहुत डांट भी पड़ी है, ऐसा नहीं अविनाश की डांट नहीं पड़ी, and ऐसे नहीं होता है, ऐसे करना चाहिए. But yeah, thanks to him, because of which I actually started I fell in love with acting, you know. Initial days I was very cranky, and I was like, Papa मुझे घर जाना है, Papa please, I don't want to do. But I was very passionate. I've always been very, very hardworking, very, very passionate about whatever I do. Like if I want to do something, I'll do it with my 100%. So it's like that. And when Khala happened, I fell in love with acting, and I'm like, okay, I want to do this. And then I was watching Kyunki Saas Bhi Kahi Bahu Thi. And then, you know, वो passion था कि अगर हो सके one day I want to be like Smriti Irani ma'am, the way she would cry and the audience would cry, seeing her cry on screen, because I would have tears seeing her cry on screen. So I was like, ऐसा actor बनना है, you know, I would look up to her, and that's how it happened.
So you never pursued air hostess like seriously?
I wanted to, but then I started working at a very young age, and also those days it was mandatory to have a certain height, you know. So I did not fulfill that circumstance. I was nowhere close to that. I think 5'6" or something ऐसा कुछ height preference हुआ करता था. मतलब they were very strict to. अभी भी I think 5'4", 5'5" minimum.
I'm sure there must be something, yeah.
So नहीं हो पाया था, and it was also very expensive. The studies and everything was costing a bomb to study for air hostess. So my dad really couldn't afford it, so I had to drop the idea, and I was like, ठीक है, I think this is what is there in my destiny. Let's pursue this.
Yeah. And what an amazing life.
Yeah, true that. Touch wood.
You come from a humble background?
Very, yeah. Yeah, very. My dad's a government servant. My brother is also an engineer. So my entire family, from my first cousin to my last cousin, is an engineer. मतलब no one's a doctor, no in between, no midway, कुछ भी नहीं है. मतलब दूर दूर तक कोई डॉक्टर भी नहीं है. सब इंजीनियर, या तो इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियर, मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर, मरीन इंजीनियर, what not engineer, सिर्फ इंजीनियर्स ही है. So I think I'm the only odd one out, and it's good to be the odd one out.
Yeah. You're standing out.
Yeah,
correct. But then, correct me if I'm wrong, but you've also done like you also played a child artist in Choker Bali with Aishwarya. You've also played young Vidya Balan
Yes.
in Parinita. How did these happen? You were in Calcutta only when this happened.
I was in Calcutta when all these things happened. So Chokhir Bali, Ritupano sir was casting, and they asked me to come for the audition. It was not audition per se, but kind of a look test and stuff like that. I went for the meeting and it just happened. So that's what I'm saying, you know, when I was in Calcutta, it's not like I had to audition and I had to struggle and knock the doors and all of that. Things were just falling in place back to back. So Vidya Balan, Pradinita, how it happened, I did an album with Vidya ma'am. It was called Kissu Ki Chadar, Shubha Mudgal. It was a beautiful song, and that also was directed by, no, it was, I think Vidhu Vinod Chopra ka hi tha. No, Pradeep Sarkar had directed it.
Had directed
yeah,
it.
Pradeep Da only had directed it, and then he was casting for Parinita, and then they just called me, and I was like, yeah, okay.
Oh,
fine,
lovely.
Yeah.
But you remember your meeting with Aishwarya back then?
Yeah. Yesterday when I was telling someone, a friend of mine, we were watching Kajrare Kajrare, that song on YouTube. Yeah, I was telling my best friend only, I was like, oh my god, she's so pretty. She's like freaking pretty. It's like, you can't take your eyes off her. She's like that. Matlab aise baithi and I was like, I was awestruck. I was like, oh my god, starstruck. I was just staring at her like that.
Yeah. But after you became an actor, did you get a chance to like go up to them ever and say, hey, you know, we worked together?
No, I happened to meet Vidya ma'am for sure. Vidya Balan had come to my show for one of her promotional activities, Uttaran ke time pe. And the best part, these actors, they work with so many people, you know, like they are doing so many movies, and in a movie the crew is only 500 or 600, 700 people. They meet so many people, and she remembered me and she remembered everything. You know, she was like, yeah, we shot in Calcutta, and she was chatting with me. I was like, oh my god, I feel so good. I feel so good. I was like, you know, bade star hote hain na to itne grounded hote hain. That's the best part.
Correct.
So these are the little things that you actually learn from people on a day-to-day basis.
Correct. So when you did so much of work, Tina, in Calcutta, and then you decided to come to Bombay. Now this is a completely different world. Was it tough?
It was to adjust initially. It was, but some people, 80% were very welcoming, 20% were not, which happens everywhere. Whether it's a corporate business or whatever it is, everywhere it's the same thing. But yeah, you just have to have patience, you just have to hang in there, and you just have to be positive, have a positive approach to everything, and things are going to fall in place eventually. So that's what happened with me also. So when I'd come to Bombay, of course it was difficult. My Hindi was pathetic. Abhi bhi mera thi aur tha mein bahut jhol hota hai. But yeah, theek hai. People keep correcting, because sometimes हमारे बंगाली में पानी भी खाते हैं और खाना भी खाते हैं, चाय भी खाते हैं, सब खाते ही हैं हम लोग. So it gets complicated at times, but theek hai.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to have patience, just be positive, ignore all the negativity, and just move on in life.
Sure. But you came with the first show, or you came and did a lot of round of auditions here? And
no, again, how it happened, you won't believe. I think it was destiny, okay? So when I was in the 10th standard, those days back in 2009, 2010, internet was not that easily accessible, right? तो हमारे घर पे वो डब्बा वाला कंप्यूटर होता था, एंड जब वेकेशंस होते थे तभी वाईफाई का कनेक्शन होता था, अदरवाइज इट इज़ शट डाउन. मतलब कोई वाईफाई नहीं मिल सकता था. घर पे एक लैंडलाइन होता है, एक या दो फोन्स, मोबाइल फ़ोन होते पापा और मम्मी के पास, एंड दैट्स ऑल अबाउट इट. So during Durga Puja time, I received an email from Balaji Telefilms. Okay, this is a very amazing, funny story. And of course पूजा टाइम, सो दुर्गा पूजा के टाइम पे ना एवरीथिंग इज शट, साइबर कैफेज एंड एवरीथिंग इज शट. सो आपको नेटवर्क तो मिल ही नहीं सकता, यू कांट इवन गो टू अ साइबर कैफे एंड एक्सेस. सो ऑलमोस्ट 10-15 days it's like shut, and I happened to see that email after like 2-3 months or November, yeah, nahi, first email I saw it in October only, but of course I couldn't reply her back on time. So I was like, okay, this is gone. Again, when I was on the 11th standard, I get an email again during Durga Puja times, which I again couldn't reply on time. Again, when I was in the 12th standard, this is the third time, I get an email from Balaji Telefilms, and that too on Durga Puja time, to which I reply in the month of March or April after my board exams got over. So 12 बजे मैं ऐसे नेट पे ऐसे टाइम पास कर रही थी, exams were over, and I was like, Balaji Telefilms. I was like, no. Scroll up, Balaji Telefilms. I was like, Balaji Telefilms, they are calling me for a goddamn audition. So I run to my mom and I wake her up, and then mom is like, okay, tomorrow morning we'll reply, okay? And we replied, and they were like, you have to come down for the audition. And those days, I kid you not, one way Air India ticket would cost you like 15,000, 16,000. So my dad wouldn't allow me akele to come. So dad is like, कम से कम लाख रुपए का खर्चा है, because you will have to come, I will also have to come back and forth, and then we have to put up in a hotel and all of that. He's like, I don't have so much money, I can't spend so much money. My heart, it like shattered to 1,000 pieces. I'm like, hey Bhagwan, zindagi ne mauka diya and I can't even go for an audition. So I replied them back, I said, listen, it's not possible for me. So they are like, okay, send us a showreel. अब शोरील बनाना तो मुझे आता नहीं है, शोरील कैसे बना? I've done like multiple shows, but I can't ask them to go on YouTube and check it. And YouTube was also not easily accessible कि आपको हर episodes ऐसे मिले. ये तो अभी recently ये सब 5-7 साल में चालू हुआ. So there was a neighbor of mine, and I was like, I'm not boring you, right?
No, of course. I'm
very talkative.
Please keep going on. I'm very clued into your story now.
So then I asked that भैया, I said, भैया एक शोरील बना दोगे? और इतने बदमाश थे, I'm telling you अविनाश, उसने 1 हफ्ता लगाया मेरा रील बनाने के लिए. अब वो रील मेरे को कोरियर करना था, पापा को बोला पापा फास्ट ट्रैक में कोरियर कर दो, तो उसमें 500 रुपये लगने वाला था. तो पापा ने क्या किया, एयर में नहीं भेजा, 4 दिन के कोरियर में भेजा, 1 दिन का कोरियर और 4 दिन लगा. But you know, किस्मत में होता है ना, तो सब कुछ, everything will fall in place and you just have to have patience. I cried so much, and then it reached Balaji Telefilms almost after 10-15 days, the show reel, and then they were like, pack your bags, we'll let you know. And I packed my bags and I came to Bombay, and then Uttaran happened. First Koi Aane Koi happened, then Uttaran happened, and then that's how it just went on.
Yeah. But you were working now already, so I think money would have been coming in from the work that you have done before.
Yeah, but then, you know, in Calcutta, working class family and all of that, spending so much money, it's not easy.
A middle class family thinks about these things, of course. I get that.
It's not easy, yeah.
It's not
easy. Papa
and
is
1
like,
lakh rupees at that time was a big
amount. Yeah, it's a lot
amount.
of money, and Papa is like, you know, you invest that much money and then you never know, agar nahi hua crack or whatever, it's just like, tukke pe chalna wala song.
I get that. So you had to send a show reel, you said. You know, I'll tell you, I was just coming for this interview. I was in the metro, and there was this guy sitting right besides me, and I saw him. You know, after a while, I saw him got a little uneasy. He was getting. So he was doing something on his phone. So I saw that, and he typed how to handle anxiety before an audition. And it broke my heart, Tina. You know, for 1 second, I was like, I found it cute, and I want to say, you know, you're so ambitious. Congratulations for it. You giving it all, because he was also reading his script before that. But then it also felt, you know, the nervousness and the anxiety is so real, and I could see him getting a little jittery there. Did you go through that ever in your career?
I wouldn't lie. I still go through it. I still do. My first day of shoot, I'm like really nervous, I'm anxious. Any new character I portray, I'm still very nervous, anxious, excited. It's a combination of all the mixed emotions. But yeah, even before going for an audition, you know, अभी भी ऐसा होता है कि धड़कनें मेरी ऐसे धक धक करते रहता है. But it's okay to be scared, it's okay to be anxious, it's okay to have a tad bit of cold feet. It's okay, you know, you just have to inhale, breathe in, breathe out, and just give it your all. And घर आके ऐसा लगना चाहिए कि I gave my 100%. होना ना होना, it's all destiny end of the day. But deep down you should know that I gave my 100%. I worked towards it. I was in the character, my makeup, hair, everything was on point. My lines I had well rehearsed and everything. So yeah.
But you know, it's such a scary space also, no? A little, at least from what I saw and what I felt, I was like, there's so much of कितना दबाव लगा मुझे जब मैंने उसको लिखते हुए देखा. मुझे लगा एक प्रेशर था बहुत ज़्यादा उस टाइम पे.
Because a lot of people also nowadays can't handle rejection. That becomes a problem. That becomes a huge problem, yaar, Avinash. It's not like that I have not been rejected. I have been rejected, what, 20-25 auditions दिया होगा मैंने और reject हो गए होंगे. But it's okay. You just have to believe that this character was not for me. Yeah, I don't fit the bill, or you know, something's better is on my way. So you just have to have patience and just have to be there and just hold your horses and stay calm. That's all you can do.
You know, that's why I do these conversations. What you said, I'm sure it is that one of those actors who's trying to make it, sees it and feels it's okay. It's okay to get rejected. It's okay to not get one role. There's something better waiting for you.
Yeah, like in spite of doing Uttaran, which was a super hit, the #1 show in colors with a TRP of 12. मतलब आजकल के ज़माने में लोग सोच भी नहीं सकते 12 का TRP. उसके बाद even when Uttaran went off air, I have given multiple auditions and I have been rejected by so many production houses, by so many channels. अगर production house approve भी करते, channel को अच्छे नहीं लगते. Channel को अच्छा लगता है तो production को लगता है कि नहीं ठीक है, money is not falling in place, or she's not the perfect you know, fit for the character, कि look wise अच्छे नहीं लग रहे. So it has happened to me also. So ऐसा नहीं कि सक्सेसफुल हो जाने के बाद भी you won't get rejected. You will get rejected, but you just have to be positive and have to have a positive approach towards life.
Then is it hard to get rejected after seeing so much popularity? Uttaran ran for I think
Sometimes
7
yes,
years.
I wouldn't lie. I wouldn't be modest. Okay, मैं नहीं बोलूँगी कि हाँ नहीं फर्क नहीं पड़ता, it's okay. But sometimes आपको बुरा लगता है, you know, there are certain character which you really want to portray.
Yeah.
So for me, I am more, if I love the character, I'm ready to work out on the budget. I'm ready to work out on other things as well. But I really need to fall in love with the character. So sometimes in a particular character, because end of the day you're an actor, right? So that actor's thirst होता है कि ये कैरेक्टर करना है या ऐसा कुछ करना है या वेरी चैलेंजिंग रोल्स, एंड व्हेन दैट डजंट फॉल इन प्लेस एंड यू आर हार्ट ब्रोकन, यू आर लाइक अरे यार क्यों नहीं हुआ, बट इट्स ओके, आई मीन बेटर थिंग्स आर योर वे, सो इट्स ऑल गुड.
सेल्फ डाउट आता है?
नहीं, ऑनेस्टली मैं सेल्फ डाउट नहीं आने देती हूँ. आई वुडंट लाई, बट मैं नहीं आने देती हूँ. मतलब आई फील कि ठीक है अगर ये नहीं हो पा रहा है, सो आई ट्राई एंड वर्क ऑन माई सेल्फ मोर, you know, so I keep doing something or the other. I keep myself busy. So yoga really helps, meditation really helps. It really helps in having a positive approach towards life for sure.
Yeah, I think healthy lifestyle is also a way forward.
Absolutely.
Right? There's nothing else that really protects you today.
Absolutely, and you need to be surrounded by good healthy people as well. That is very 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 important, Avinash. Matlab, if you have a good set of friends who's really positive and has a positive approach and who's always motivating you out there, कि जब भी आपको अगर लगे भी ना कि आपको सेल्फ डाउट हो रहा है, आपके कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल लो हो रहा है, एंड दे आर जस्ट देयर टू हेल्प यू एंड बूस्ट यू. सो good set of friends is really important, and touch wood I'm really blessed with some of the best set of friends for sure. One of them is Ashu.
Yeah. What were your days in Kolkata like when you were young? How were you as a child? Tell me. Were you like a mischievous
Very
child?
talkative. Very talkative, very mischievous. I was a brat.
Oh, you were?
I was a brat. I was like बहुत बदमाश थी मैं. मतलब so I was in a co-ed school. मैं लड़कों को भी मारती थी, उनको सबको परेशान करती थी. It's like that. But I always lived life. I was a fun loving girl. मैं मस्ती करती रहती थी. अभी मेरे स्कूल फ्रेंड्स फ़ोन करते हैं, they were like भाई साहब तो कितना तंग करती थी हम लोगों को. Remember those good old days. I was fun. I was very talkative and I was mastikoor.
So when you grow up in an environment like that, where you grow up with family, you grow up with your close ones, then you come to Bombay where you're all alone, and I think your mother was staying with you in the beginning, right?
Initially,
what adjustments you made here?
So initially it was difficult to adjust for sure. It was very difficult, and then you get your paycheck after like 3 months and stuff like that. तो हम लोग initial days when I was doing बालाजी का show, I was put up in Meera apartment. So luckily they gave you an apartment बालाजी से, and then we used to buy food from Five Spice. उसके बाजू में ही होता था. So that used to be our lunch and dinner. एक टाइम का खाना खाते थे. मतलब we would buy once a day and then it would last us the afternoon and lunch. मतलब lunch and dinner. And otherwise there is no gas, so they don't provide you with gas and stuff like that for safety reasons. So microwave में mom found out a hack कि उसी में चावल, आलू, अंडा ये सब boil करके मक्खन के साथ, तो that used to be our food, because how much fast food are you supposed to have every day, and my tummy is also very sensitive. So yeah, it was a lot of struggle. It was not a very rosy ride, I wouldn't say. Yeah, and then traveling back and forth, and then I would shoot for like 18 hours, 20 hours. There were times when 2-2, 3-3 दिन तक मैं मड आइलैंड में सेट पे पड़ी रहती थी. उसी के मेकअप रूम में हम लोग नहाते थे and would sleep for like 2 hours, power nap, brush my teeth, wake up, shower, and again resume work and all of that. So it was a lot of struggle. So yeah, adjustments as in ये सब adjustments तो definitely करना पड़ेगा. You will have to come out of your comfort zone and adjust to a new lifestyle, new set of people, new production house. Yeah. Everything new environment. So yeah. Uttan
was such a big show, but you know, when you say these things, nobody knows about these things also, right? So much goes behind the lead actor of the show also.
Absolutely. Even today, for that matter, when you have to set up a show or something, na, it's not easy. When I did Diane also, when I did Shani also, 2 to 3 days like non-stop, मतलब दिन में 20 hours, 22 hours we shoot. मतलब 22 hours किसको बोलते हैं? Then another 1 hour back and forth traveling में आपका चला जाता है.
Correct.
So it's really not easy. मतलब ऐसे लोगों को बाहर से लगता है, oh my God, the main lead, their life is gonna be very rocky and nice. It's not that.
Tina, you've been in the business for so long. I think about 14-15 years now. Since you started out as a lead actor.
24, 25 years, yeah.
If we count the child actor part also. So, do you think something can be done, Tina, about this working conditions in TV? Because I really feel it's really, really tough. 18, 19, 20 hours.
It can be, but again, the problem is, आपको 30 minutes का footage देना है. you know, and then nowadays most of the shows are like 7 days a week.
Yes.
So even if it's 7 days a week, so what is the main lead supposed to do? Because most of the scenes initial days is revolving around you.
Yeah.
And they can't do chapai ki chalo aise close up laga diya and dialogue bola and all of that. So there's a lot of treatment and everything. So sometimes I feel yes, a lot can be done, but then again when I sit back and think कि actually there is no other choice, you know, unless we roll pretty early. So yeah, if you shoot prior, 1 month prior, and if the episodes and all are coming in time, so it's not only the actors, you know, it's a teamwork. So the channel has to make sure कि episodes आपके approve हो जाए time पे, the producer has to make sure कि shoot आपका time पे sign हो, align हो, and everything is in place, and you know, time waste ना हो. So if everything aligns properly, then definitely वो bank भी बन सकता है, सब कुछ हो सकता है. You need to have a good production team.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the producer, but the producer who's hiring the production team has to be really, really efficient.
Yeah. Do you and your mother sometimes sit and laugh about that incident that happened in the Big Boss house when she went and hugged Sreejita? It was so cute. So cute.
Yeah, so many times. I think my mom became so famous after that.
Yeah.
She's got so many fan followings, touch wood. People go crazy, you know. My mom never thought, and believe me Avinash, मतलब मम्मी को इससे इंटरव्यू में बिठा दो या कोई भी मतलब, you know, if she's in front of the camera, even if you're shooting something on the mobile, she will be very conscious. But now तो she's become a like बिंदास mom. हाँ, क्या करना है बताओ, okay, reel shoot करना है, ऐसे करना है, okay, done. So now, you know, to my PR also, if they say आंटी आपको एक reel shoot करना है, so डॉली को बोलेंगे अच्छा पैसे कितने मिलने वाले हैं, ऐसे फ्री में मैं नहीं काम करती, अभी मैं फेमस हूँ. So she's a darling, she's so much fun, she's an angel. If she comes here, no, मतलब बहुत हंसाने वाली है, ऐसा है, मतलब pun intended, बहुत sarcastic, ऐसे full one-liners मारती रहती है.
Yeah, no, but that, like I said, that incident was very, very cute. But you also really shoot a lot of reels with your mother and your father.
Yeah, I do.
Do they?
My dad loves to shoot. You know, I never ever thought, Avinash, that he's got that element in him. But my dad, उनको shoot करने बोल दो, मतलब how much ever he's tired, he's 65, how much ever he's tired or he's travelled or मतलब you know कहीं से भी बाहर से आया जो भी, उनको बोलो कि 1 घंटे में आपको shoot करना है, he'll pack his bags and all of that. And now तो full on, हाँ, all those printed, animal printed and tree printed and all those weird prints and all of that he will wear and he will shoot. He loves to shoot. I was like, from where did this thing come? You know, you never know. You know, age is just a number. किसके अंदर क्या छुपा हुआ होता है, and with age, over time, it just comes out. And he's so he's not at all conscious in front of the camera. He's very camera friendly. मतलब he loves giving interviews. He would love to get spotted. You know, अगर कहीं पे मैं गई and if there's media and all of that, and he will be like, हाँ हाँ ठीक है, मेरा अच्छे से picture आया है ना.
Wow.
Like that, he loves it, I'm telling you.
Do you have like as a daughter, to-do list of things you want to do for them?
I do look after my parents. I'm not gonna talk a lot about it, but yeah, I try and fulfill all their wishes. जो भी जितना भी मैं कर सकती हूँ, जितना भी मेरे से हो पाता है, मैं definitely कोशिश करती हूँ. I think that is a question you should definitely ask my mom and my dad, and they'll be so proud, and they will be proudly telling you all the things. So yeah, I try and give them all the luxuries, and I feel as children, once you're doing well for yourself, I think it's basic that we should look after our parents because they have sacrificed so much, you know. My mom wouldn't buy saris for herself or jewelries for herself just to give us a good, healthy lifestyle, you know. कि मुझे कपड़े का बहुत शौक था, so मम्मी दुर्गा पूजा के टाइम पे she would make sure कि I have like 8-10 pair of clothes, and you know she would celebrate my birthday. She will save up little every month to, you know, celebrate my birthday and everything. So if they have sacrificed and compromised so much on their life, you know, so I think that's basic that we should also look after them once we grow up and we are doing well for ourselves. यार क्या जाता है उसमें, उनकी खुशी में हमारी खुशी है. और वो दुआ भी तो काम आती है ना, उनके आशीर्वाद भी तो काम आता है, और कुछ काम नहीं आता है. True that.
Do you like also, a lot of actors also want to try now other mediums also? Do you have that ambition as well? You did one OTT show.
Of course, I did one OTT, and I would love to do more OTT for sure, because OTT में the advantage is that you do a character, you portray a character for like 2-3 months, and then you're done and you can move on to another character. So definitely if something interesting comes up my way, I would definitely love to bag it for sure. I love OTT,
is
something
there a
fun.
character like you want to play?
I really don't mind portraying one of Kangana's character, Fashion, to name a few. I loved it. What a strong personality. It's a different kind of
Correct,
character.
correct.
So yeah, I mean, I would love to do that. It's going to be challenging for sure, but TK, I mean, that is the fun, to take up challenges and do something out of your comfort zone, which you have been doing for quite a while now.
Yeah, that's true, and I can't wait to see that, Tina, and everything else you're doing in the future. Your journey has been so amazing. I wish it keeps going on like that forever.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I was so talkative. Thank you. Hey guys, if you like this video, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
Pinkvilla, look no further.